My name's Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you how to make a colada, which is basically some strong-ass Cuban coffee. So first I want to introduce to you the cafetera. You can get these super cheap at Publix. I think the brand is IMUSA. They're usually aluminum and they're like $8. So this is considered the 3 cup. So basically it looks like this, and then you unscrew the top, and this is how you take everything out. So basically you see this little valve here? You're gonna pour water up to the bottom. You don't wanna go over it, or else it's not gonna percolate correctly, or whatever the proper term is. See? Then you're gonna put this in here. This is where you're gonna put your café gustado. That's what you have to use. Don't use anything else. Sometimes you can use pilon, but this is better. So, there is an art to filling this little reservoir, or whatever you want to call it. You don't want to pack it too tight, but you don't want to pack it too loose. So usually I'm shaking a little because I'm nervous for some reason. But so you start packing it nice and light, and you want to be even. We're almost there. So you want to make sure it's even around the edges. It does take a minute to make sure. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so it doesn't have to be totally perfect, but it's about right. So it's not packed too tight, it's not packed too loose. So basically the water in there is gonna get hot enough to where it's gonna push the coffee up through here, and then it's gonna percolate and start spitting out through here, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna screw it on, nice and tight, and then I don't want to do it too tight, but obviously not too loose. And then we're going to go ahead and let it start to heat up. And then we're going to take a little break because it's going to take a minute. But basically when we come back, we're going to get the first couple drops of coffee that come through here, and then I'll show you what's next. Be right back. Okay, so while we have our cafetera still on the stove, getting ready to start percolating, I wanted to tell you about the sugar. Basically, it's just 3 teaspoons of white sugar, and then what you're going to do is you're going to add it to this. This is just a stainless steel, like milk frother type container. It's just easiest when you get to the point where you have to whip it to make the espumita. Anyways, we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention about the cafetera is to make sure that your handle is hanging off to the side. You don't want it to be too close to the fire because it will get hot and it will make it very hard for you to make a good colada. So take a look in here. This is what you want to see. This is where the magic really happens. It's the beginnings of the coffee, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that little bit and I'm gonna put some of it in here. Not all of it, just enough to kind of wet it, to make it almost like a mud consistency. And then you're gonna put it back and let it keep going until it's done spitting out. Now, the fun part, the whip. You gotta be super fast and aggressive. And you're gonna get big, strong arms, at least one strong arm. This is my favorite part. That's why my right arm is so much stronger than my left. Look at that. It's beautiful. Go a little bit more, it's a little granularly. And now we wait for the rest of the coffee. So, safety tip, when you remove this, turn it off. So So just wanted to make an extra note. In order to do a proper whip, what you're doing essentially is you're crushing the sugar against the spoon and the metal container with the heat of the coffee. So it's almost like a wet sand. So we can go ahead and say this is ready. You start hearing it and you start seeing it smoke up. So we're gonna go ahead and take this and we're gonna slowly pour it in. And this is interesting because everybody has their own way of doing it. You don't wanna over mix it, but you want to get it to where all the sugar at the bottom kind of turns into that nice, silky, frothy beauty on the top. And there's your colada. Get ready to clean the house because you're gonna be fueled up. Beautiful black gold. My name's Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you how to make a colada, which is